Hey guys, thanks for stopping by and welcome to Mondays with Mary. So I think you're gonna like the colors that we got this week. I know when I saw what the random generator had picked, I got happy. And not happy because they're like my favorite colors, but happy because they reminded me of spring and just happiness. So we've got number 384, and look at all those happy colors. We've got a light blue, yellow, a minty green, and two shades of pink, like a light pink and then a rosy pink. And look, they're even using it with the party. So see, it is happy. I didn't even notice that. So the colors that I picked, we're going to do two different things, are waterfall and turquoise, because we're going to use a watercolor brush marker and an ink, and then lemon whip and fresh lemon, mint, and this one is called Mountain Mist, cherry blossom with cotton candy, peony, and rouge. So hopefully you can, let's bring those down more. So those are our colors, and I think that they matched up nicely. Sometimes not as good as others, but it's not supposed to always match. It's just giving us inspiration for that color. So those are our colors. Let me get these out of the way. These up here, and we're going to work with something new to me, and that is the Stampin Up Magnolia Mood Cling Stamp Set, and they have the die cuts. So interesting quick story. So for almost 14 years, I was a consultant with Close to My Heart. And the owner of Close to My Heart has decided the last couple of months to shut down and not sell the company, but just to close it down. And so they did work out a deal, and that we could transfer or transition, I guess, to Stampin' Up! If we wanted to. And so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. When I very first started getting into card making, it was because of Stampin' Up! And it was because they had their little parties that you went to, and then they had like these big social things where you hopped from table to table and made a card. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So this really interested me because it's magnolia, and I love magnolias, and because it has the dies. So interesting is that they have the photopolymer, acrylic stamps, but they still have they still make some stamps depending on the detail in the cling. So this just happened to be one of their clings, as they call them. But I fell in love with the rubber stamps again when I went to Stamp Joy a couple of months ago with Tailored Expression, because she does a lot in the red rubber, and they're so easy to stamp and so nice. So So that's that. I will leave a link if you're interested after you see this one in comments or in description below. So I have cut out, this particular set cuts out and stamps all of these. Oops. One more. There's a couple, a few that I didn't stamp, but for our purposes, this is. And then they also have dies. They kind of coordinate with it, but don't have stamps. And that is this one. This is what made me fall in love with this set to begin with. And this one, and then there's a couple of others that are just the skeleton. So what I ended up doing is I've cut in from each of these in vellum, because I just think the vellum backing just gives it a cool look when you offset it a little bit. So we'll be adding those. There's one for this one here. And then there's one for this one. And then this one. And then this big one. I didn't cut one for the leaf. So we're going to start with the cardstock ones, and that's what we're going to use the majority of the ink pads for. If I can only find my spatula. Okay, I'll use this one. All right, so get these open. Get this out of the way. I'm telling you, this sticky mat. All right, let's get these open. And then let's back up just a little bit with the camera so you can see more. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Well, it's technically not over since it is Memorial Day. We got a busy one coming up next week because my granddaughter's graduating, and so we're going to have a graduation party. All right, don't get nauseous. I'm lifting you up. All right. So I want to take a little brush. Some little brushes. All right, we're going to start in the center with a little bit of yellow. And we're going to do a little bit of the lighter. Let me get a rag. So our kids out here get out very early. I think this is going to be too big for what I want. Let me get a little brush. Where we live, they get out well, some got out this week already, and the rest get out next week. So I'm taking this little tiny detail brush just to get the little bit of darker color. I'm using the peony. We'll put a little bit right there. And a little bit on this bud. All right, so much for the peony. And then I'm going to take the cherry blossom, which is the lighter one. Get some color on this. I'm not real worried about getting a lot of color, because you know, magnolias don't have a lot of colors. And we don't have to have everything like nature. Because when we craft, we do make blue flowers, and there aren't very many blue flowers around. Now, do you know why there's hardly any blue flowers? I heard this. I don't know if it's true. You tell me if you've heard this before. But I heard that there aren't a lot of blue flowers because bees don't see blue and they don't pollinate. They're not attracted to the blue, so they don't pollinate a lot of blue. I don't know if that's true or not. Let me know if you've ever heard that. Could just be an old wives' tale. I don't know. All right, let's go back up to this one. I do like how this, I do like this skeleton look. All right, whoops. These little things that I put these in are falling over. All right, so let's go with the mint. We don't need mint on that one, but we do need mint on this one. Let's see if I've got make sure there isn't any extra color from a previous green. Holding that down with my fingers so that it doesn't bend that little stem there. So the watercolor pins that I'm going to use, I have to admit that I have not used them in a project. I've played with them, but not in a project. I also have to admit that I'm not very good at watercoloring. So I'm hoping these pins will save the day. I mean, I'm out of my element here. I've got no stencil. I'm inking on my own. I'm gonna watercolor. All right, a little bit more right there. All right. I think I'm gonna go back to this cherry blossom. Nope, hold on. And see if I can't blend that. Oh yeah, that's better. Blend that a bit more with this brush. Somebody asked me the other day what my favorite brush was. And I love them all because they all have a different job, you know? They all have a different job. All right, let me get, I think that one's the tiniest one I have. This is a 5 also. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of the blue and put it right and blend it into the green. It makes a different shade of green and it gives it a little bit of depth. All right, we're almost done with these. All right. There we go with that. And that one's good. All right, so where are my, here we go. So when we put it together, I'm just gonna offset it ever so slightly and then just attach it so that it gives it some, you know, a little bit of interest, a little bit. It gives it a little frilly look. So there's that one and that one. All right, so those two are done, and we're done with our inks. And now let me clean this up before I make a mess that I'm going to end up regretting. Oh, speaking of that, I was finishing up a card from one of the last events that I did, and I had opaque white splatter on my desk, and I went to put it away, and the top, I thought I had closed the top and I didn't, and I grabbed the top and the bottle spilled over, and I had white splatter poured all over the place. It was pretty ugly. I will never do that again, or at least I hope I won't. All right, so let's come down a little as we're concentrating on this flower. All right, so this stamp is made like it's been sketched. So all right. Oh, the air conditioning just went on, so I'm just making sure that there's ink on the nib, a little brush. So I'm just gonna fill this in. So remember, I am not a watercolorist. I think I need more. There we go. There we go. And I'm just gonna like follow the white lines. If you watercolor like with brushes on stamps like this, let me know your technique, because you know, whoever I give this to is not gonna say, wow, she doesn't know how to watercolor. And if they do say that, then I guess I'll never send them a card again. But let me know your technique. I just want to get some color down. I'm doing the green first, and then I'll do the pink so that it has time to dry. One more leaf. All right. Well, there's green. And let's go with the cotton candy. That's the light pink. silence. I'm upstairs, so it's the air when it comes on up here is so loud because it's right, you know, where the whatever it is comes into the house. I don't know. I'm thinking this kind of is more of a peachy pink than a pink. I don't know. We'll see. I'm only going to do one flower, or we'll be here all day. I don't know. I'm trying to think if this is relaxing or not. It's like people say fussy cutting is relaxing, and you know it's not relaxing to me. All right. I'm going to let that dry for a second and put in my yellow while we're waiting for that to dry so I can add. Okay. Some yellow. And then we're going to put a little blue on those base of those leaves where it's darker. That's juicy. I think it might be too much. Well, I know. Let me get some water on this little palette I've got here. And blend that in. Should have used my turntable. Right, that's better. I think, but what do I know since I don't know much about. It's bleeding right there. That is not a good thing. I know that. It's bleeding is not a good thing, no matter what. All right. All right. Now we're going in with a rouge, which I hope goes with that other color, because that other color did not, well, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. Since the stamp already makes basically the shadows, I should be able just to follow the darkness. And put the darker color there. And this is why we're only doing one flower, because this could become a real snooze fest watching somebody. Or should I say at least watching me, because I'm not trained. All right. I'll let that sit for a second. And then I'm going to go back to the green, because that blue is so much brighter than I anticipated it to be. So let's see if we go over it. Yeah, much better. Still has the darkness at the base, but it's not screaming blue now. So that's a good thing. All right. All right, let's see what we could do. You know, maybe I'll just... Maybe I'll go back in with a lighter pink and do it that way instead of with water. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's good. Oops, I'm going to lose my water brush. I've already had one thing spilled enough. All right. I'm tapping. These are like the sparkle pins. You got to push to get the ink. So that's what I'm doing off camera, is tapping it and squeezing to get more color going. I just realized I never put the darker color on this one. Now I've got to put the darker color on that one, or it's not going to match. I must have gotten distracted because that blue is bleeding into that flower. So if nothing else, doing these random number generator cards, you know, has got me to do things that I normally wouldn't do because I'd be afraid that I'd mess it up. But I didn't, you know, I have to remember it's only paper, and it's, what's the worst? It happens. You don't like it, you throw it away. All right, so that one is done. All right, so these, the rest of those three I will finish off camera. And I'll have a picture at the end to show you. And then we'll put that there. And then here's this one here, using the inks, which not only is it a totally different flower, I mean, it's a magnolia, but it's a totally different type of magnolia. You know, this is more the artsy, and this is more of like just a free form. But they've got the two different techniques. So let me know in comments which one you prefer. Whether you like the structure of the stamp or the airiness and openness of the die cut one. I mean, they're both die cuts, but you know, this one's stamped. This one is different. Let's see if we put, let's see. You gotta choose one or the other. I don't think they mix well. At least not, you know, here. Maybe on the front of a card, using the right color base. Then they would. So, but I'm happy with both of them. I mean, you could use pencils, regular pencils, or, you know, or watercolor pencils, alcohol markers, watercolor markers. So, all right, so that's it for this one. Leave me a comment, let me know Leave me a comment and let me know if you've ever used these brushes or from Alt New. So we've done Alt New brushes, Pink Fresh inks, and Stampin' Up Stampin' Dies. We've given a little love to 3 more companies. So, all right. So let me know in comments what you think and if you have a preference. And if you use the watercolor brushes, let me know your techniques. And, you know, I'm always wanting to learn new techniques, especially with products that I don't use all the time and that I'm not, you know, I'm a newbie. Not very, you know, used to working with them. So, all right, so that's it. If you, excuse me, if you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit the subscribe button, and there's also a bell, and it will send you notifications every time there's a new video to watch. There's also the thumbs up button, which is a great button. It lets us know if you like a video or not. And then there's the share button, which makes it easy if you want to share a video of any kind, any channel with anybody. So, all right. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.